see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Ooh, I've been on the flex since flex zone. Neighborhood all in your eardrums. I ain't never scared like Bone Crush. Boy, I got God, don't fear none. My line busy, take no calls. Feels like I don't have no flaws. Snakes in the grass, cut those off. Yo, squad shitty, my bros raw. No breaks, we go, 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 go. Throw shade, that's a no, 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 no. Go high, go low, low, low. Like spinning in a 644. Cash money like 504. Ball like AD24. No sleep, need more, more, more. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Ooh, I'm a real one, my day ones. Try speak up, can't say none. Try dig dirt, there ain't none. I make the money that save up. 10 to 80, my savings. Take to the top on the base one. New car, race on. Fast lane, pace on. With the booyah, that's a flex. Not a human, I ain't from another planet. I'ma teleport, might vanish. I'ma wake up, do damage. Join number 7, East Bordeaux. Working all night, need more though. I remember nights I was poor though. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
It's Tuesday night, Forza Motorsport Spec Racing here live on Twitch TV. Let's get it going. AMS Storm now here on lap number 34 of 34, jumps into the top spot. And here comes Maverick now, gonna make a run to the inside on Drex, perhaps missing his mark.
Hey, what's going on? Welcome to X-Venture Live on Twitch TV. Week number 3 of the Forza Spec Racing Series about to get underway as the drivers are in the lobby and ready to go out at Road America. We'll have 3 laps of qualifying, followed by several laps of racing. We'll take a look at the schedule, which will give us the actual lap count here in just a minute. But first and foremost, let's take a look at the standings as they are coming out of week number 2. And this is taking into account the drop week rule. So really what we are seeing is the best for each driver of the 2 weeks. Just so happens for SGR Floofy, who came in first place not once but twice there in week number 2, he has 100 points to his name and now sits atop the leaderboard. That position previously occupied there by Craytrim, who drops down to second now with 94 points. That's second to Stevie Superstack, who has 93 points there in third position. RZ and McQueen at 86 points. 81 points there for Audrex. And then you see the rest of the folks all the way through 20th position on the leaderboard, and there are extra drivers that we don't see there on the leaderboard, making up 21st through, 26, 27, 28 other participants up to this point, and we'll see who's in the lobby here in just a minute. I'm Dustin Moore. Thanks for joining me here. Hopefully you're on your way to a wonderful Wednesday as we wrap up the last full week of the month of March. Just 3 days are on the calendar for March next week. So here we are in what will be the midpoint of season number 39. Yeah, believe it or not, we hit the midpoint after our first race. We'll be right at the midway point, and then with the second race tonight out at Brands Hatch Indy, we will start the back half of the season. By the way, worth noting, and you can read, but I'm going to go ahead and call it out anyway in case anybody's just listening. SGR Floofy getting back-to-back wins there in week number 2 with the 1990 Mazda MX-5 Miata, is the first driver to go back-to-back in wins since RZ and McQueen did it, since AMS Huracan did it in season 36, and that is the first driver not named RZ and McQueen. So ever since season 36, it's been RZ and McQueen who's dominated that finishing that top spot, that P1 position. But SGR Floofy not only at the top of the leaderboard, but putting an end to that streak there with RZ and McQueen going back-to-back all the way since season 36. And I think that was week number 3 that AMS Huracan was able to do his last back-to-back. So there you go. It's been some time. It has been some time indeed. I promised we'd look at the schedule to see where we're going and how many laps we'll be doing here tonight. Road America full alternate circuit out there for 11 laps. That is the alternate being the one that has that little chicane there on the back straightaway. Means we won't be going full throttle in this 156 horsepower Mazda Miata. No, they're going to go ahead and hook a left, go off the back straightaway, do a little squiggly, and then get back out on the track and actually going headfirst straight in. No need to turn the wheel into that big kink there on the back straightaway of Road America, and then they'll make their charge all the way back up the hill toward the start-finish line. Yes, 11 laps. And then it's Brands Hatch Indy Circuit for 33 laps. And there is going to be a little bit of precipitation. It is 100% at the end of the race. It's going to be light rain. It won't be anything super, super steady, but it will be enough for the drivers to notice. We'll see what that does to the tire situation through the first half or maybe 2/3 of the race, being that it will be on a dry track. I'm guessing the effects will be negligible to none at all. And for those of you who might be maybe joining us for the first time here in Season 39 and are curious about the stats of the Miata, there you go. Like I said, 156 horsepower, 135 foot-pounds of torque, 1980. It's 1,900 pounds of curb weight there to this little car, putting it at D400 in the Performance Index spectrum in Forza Motorsport 7. The drivers that you'll see on the track tonight, whether they're racing on Xbox or on PC, got them all in one lobby. And right now we've got 20 drivers of the 23 grid spots available. We'll see if they're going to be able to fill that up, because all the way up to this race, we've seen almost a jam-packed field. I think last week we had one driver have to drop out, and so we were down to like 22 drivers in one race, but the reserve list was pretty lengthy. Now, of course, whether or not they've got those reserve drivers queued up and ready to go, that's a whole nother situation. So while the reserve list may be long, if they're not at the ready, we can't get them in here. So we'll see. We'll see if we get 23 drivers out on the track, which out here at Road America, I'll certainly take all 23 because it is such a big, sprawling track. A lot of room to roam. More cars mean more action at any given point on the circuit. I'll go ahead and loop us back there to the standings so you all can take one last glance at that before we get ready for those 3 laps of qualifying. I see Foontang in the lobby, Fear the Fun, Slow Motion Fire, Ovation, Barf Monkey, Slipstream, Cratrium, Floofy, Modern Weapon, Toyo Sama, LS Barney, Wise Admitten, Kuda, Fox Jason D, RZ McQueen, DOR Carryout, Patches Riley, who showed up for the first time last week here in the Forza Spec Racing Series, ISU Nicky Bobby. I think that's the way I'm supposed to break that one up. ISU Nicky Bobby. That's a new name in the lobby. Audrex is there, and Stevie Superstack. 20 drivers on the 23 car grid at this point. Let's see here as the drivers get readied up. I don't see anybody in the driver's spotlight. That's to be expected. We don't usually hear from anybody until after the first qualifying round, so we'll turn to that here shortly after we do the 3 laps. Now, this is going to be a longer qualifying session than what we're used to out here at Road America. This is a 4.12 mile circuit, the alternate track. And actually, I'm looking at the track map, and I'm not seeing. Oh no, there it is. I see the chicane, the alternate little bit that we'll take on here today. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and bring on the lobby view for you all. Ovation with the host. Thank you very much, Ovation. I appreciate that. Let's see. I need. Oh gosh, I turned everything off as I use this for my other broadcast, and I forget all the different things that I need to turn on. There we go. That should work. That's the ticket. There's the lobby. Still at 20 drivers. Everybody is readied up, so I think we're going to get going here pretty soon. In a matter of time. Thank you very much to Foontang, by the way, and a round of applause to Foontang, who's come up big here, not only last week, but this week. Apparently, there are some issues with the Forza Motorsport 7 servers that's gone unaddressed, and I guess there are some problems with getting connections going if you are a stateside gamer. And what happens is usually the first one to jump into the lobby or create the lobby is the host. And unfortunately, if it's across ocean, then we may see a little bit higher ping. But last week, everything looked really, really good. I think the connections were solid. I don't remember. Well, I think we did lose one driver. But it was, all things considered, a pretty stable lobby last week. So, again, big shout out there to Funtang, who is doing lobby setup tonight. And it's more than just joining the lobby or creating the lobby. It's then setting up all the rules and regulations that are required, and hopefully kind of knowing what the situation was heading into this week as opposed to last week. Hopefully Funtang had a chance to kind of set things up ahead of time. All right, Soul Motion Fire telling us in the chat that he's getting ready to give everybody the start signal in the lobby, that they'll get out there. 3 laps of qualifying, 1 standing start lap, and then the other 2 are the flying lap. Dino Dado with the host. Welcome, folks, from the Dino Dado channel. Probably getting a fair serving of, I don't know, what was Dino up to? iRacing? That seems to be his game of choice these days. Understandably so. He's getting better and better by the race. Welcome to X-Venture. I did see DTS Mondo jump in there momentarily, and that might be what they're waiting for, is to see if DTS Mondo can get back into the lobby. DTS Mondo racing for the first time here in the Forza Spec Racing Series season number 39, has 79 points, which is tied for 6th with Toyosama. And what happens if you're unable to participate in a week? Well, that becomes your drop week. So you really want to try to hit all 5 weeks if you can, because you never know when one of those weeks might be just truly awful for you. So you'd hate to get a goose egg by default because you couldn't participate. And DTS Mondo, yeah, he's made it happen. He's in the lobby. It's going good, Dino. It's going good. Thank you. I hope things are going good for you and yours as well. Let's go ahead and get some audio going here. And actually, let me flip it over to that real quick. I've got to adjust the audio on my side. Otherwise, this is going to be super, super loud. There we go. Nothing missed. Nothing missed. And Modern Weapon will be the first off the line. It is going well. Good. Very, very good. You guys make sure you are following Dino Dado. Sure, we don't see Dino Dado participating in Forza Motorsport stuff that much or at all these days. But hey, that's the great thing about the racing genre, at least in recent years, is that we've really seen an abundance of options. Like, it isn't Gran Turismo or Forza anymore. You've got Assetto Corsa Competizione, you've got iRacing, you've got Race Room, and I always stumble on this one. Automobilista, right? That's the one, AMS2. So you got plenty of options out there depending on what it is that you're trying to accomplish. And Dino Dado, speaking of accomplishments, has done a lot of that this year. Has raced the Daytona 24 with his team and the Sebring. You did Sebring as well, right, Dino? I think you did Sebring. You hope once the new game is here, you'll be back. Yeah, and I think that's a lot of people's sentiment. So I don't blame you one bit. I think that's where a lot of folks are, is that, hey, when the new title comes, I'll be back. Give me some time. Let me enjoy some other stuff. I hear you. 100%. All right, here comes Modern Weapon. Down the hill, the left-hander, underneath the Speedville Johnsonville sign. That left-hander is always tricky for me. I don't know about you all, but I never get the braking. I never get the braking correct, and that's because out of that right-hand kink, sometimes I'll be right on where I can keep it full throttle, depending on what car I'm driving. Can keep it full throttle and really line it up nicely for the left-hander, or sometimes I'll goof up the right-hand kink, and then that's no good for the left-hander. I always then am in the wrong position. And here, as you see, we come out of the back straightaway off of that alternate chicane, which I think mostly is reserved for MotoGP events. But hey, with the 1990 Mazda MX-5, it's appropriate. Like, there's enough room and maneuverability in this car to take on that chicane, and that's what they're going to do here as Modern Weapon now comes out of Canada corner up toward this little left-hand bend, and then the final right-hander up the hill and across the line for the completion of the standing start lap. I've got the lap information there in the bottom left underneath the map to show us who is going to post the quickest time. Dino Dado saying Sebring is actually this weekend for us. We've done Daytona and Bathurst. That's what it was, Bathurst. You did Bathurst. Oh, gosh, Modern Weapon. I don't know if he took his eyes off the road or what and went ahead and made contact with the sidewall, and that's actually going to set him up for a dirty lap here on lap number 2. You never want that. With only 2 flying laps, your options are limited for a clean qualifying lap. And so we'll go ahead and put the camera here on slow motion fire. El Capitan, as he's known in the, well, he's probably not referred to as El Capitan, but I'll call him that. Heads things up here with a little bit of help from his friends, the Forza Spec Racing Series. They've been doing this since Forza Motorsport 4 back in 2014? Yeah, I think it was 2014 when things in FM4 really got kicked off. And now down the long infield straightaway. Then you got a little bit of a downhill going into this left-hander, which can be tricky, but you do have a little bit of runoff space. It's a mix of concrete, and then as you can see, it quickly and abruptly changes over to dirt and grass, so you got to get over quick. But with 156 horsepower in these Mazdas, you're not carrying it out too wide. Able to make that correction relatively easily compared to maybe some of the other vehicles you might find yourself running in out here at Road America. One of the original tracks of the Forza Motorsport franchise, I believe. Joe Beardy says, "Come on, Modern, you're better than that." And he's not the one that's sitting. Somebody is sitting on the straightaway. That is not Modern Weapon. So Modern Weapon is back up to speed. But yeah, he must have had either a momentary lapse in concentration, took his eyes off the road or the screen to go look at something else, or maybe he had his batteries go out in his controller and did a quick swap so that he can get back out on the track here for qualifying. Let's go to Funtang, who right now has the 5th quickest qualifying lap. I think this is Hurry Downs right here, if I'm not mistaken. I had a track map for Road America, and then I took so many notes on it that I ended up throwing it away, and I totally forgot to replenish my track maps. I have a tendency to do that. I need to get them laminated, and then I can do notes in dry erase, and then boom, reusable, sustainable track maps. There goes Funtang under the bridge. He's going to close in quickly here on Ovation, one of the newcomers in the Forza Spec Racing Series. But you can see there with Ovation as he starts to fade out, that's that ghosting effect, which allows all of our drivers, all 21 of them out on the track right now, to qualify simultaneously without worry of making contact with one another and without having to worry about any penalties due to slipstream effect. It's almost as if the other cars don't exist. The only problem with that is that you can see them. Maybe that's something that Turn 10 Studios can deliver with the next Forza Motorsport title, is allow simultaneous qualification, but then for you to completely just block out the other drivers in your view, almost as if they don't exist. Sure, that takes a little bit of the realism out of it, but hey, if you're going to ghost them, you might as well just take them out altogether and not see them entirely. There goes Funtang now up the hill for the completion of his first flying lap. Toyo Sama right now with a 2:44.759 is good enough for pole. Let's see what happens as Funtang crosses the line. He won't do any better on that run, but he will. Actually, he does drop back to 10th position. So where he was 5th on his qualifying time there out of lap number 1, he has fallen back 5 spots. Now make that 6 spots as somebody has pulled out a quicker time, putting Funtang in 11th. Let's go to Cratrium right now, who has the 3rd quickest qualifying time. Cratrium, again, 94 points right now to his name, coming out of week number 2, 2nd overall on the leaderboard, and has had quite the battle with RZ McQueen, Stevie Superstack, and Floofy. Cratrium unable to secure a P1 finish so far, 4 races in to season 39. Cratrium, the most victorious driver in terms of season championships in the Forza Spec Racing Series. I believe he has 7 or 8 to his name. What's up, Chili Cheese? Yeah, we're doing some racing tonight here on a Tuesday. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. But yeah, going back to Dino's mention that Sebring coming up for him this weekend. Did you guys catch the 12 hours or the 24 hours of Sebring? Was it 12 or 20? I can never remember with Sebring if it's 12 or 24. It's 12, right? It's like Bathurst. 12. Start early in the morning, finish at night. Toyo Sama still the pole sitter at this point. 244.759. It is 12. Okay, that's what I thought. Luffy right now with the second quickest qualifying time. Followed by Cratrium, then DTS Mondo, RZ and McQueen sitting 5th. And now here they go for the final stride down the front straightaway. Cratrium with a 244.330. Will that be erased here by somebody else? Let's go to McQueen, who's now jumped up to the second quickest qualifying spot, and he is done. DTS Mondo now coming across the line. And Mondo is going to finish with the 5th quickest time. SGR Floofy in 4th. And we'll take a look at those times here once we back out to the lobby. And there we go. There we go. All right, LS Barty at 246.440, at 245 for Slipstream, at 254 for Slow Motion Fire, 246.4 there for Fear the Fun, 245.7 for Carry Out, Luffy with a 244, 246 there for Barf Monkey, 250 for Kuda, 244 for RZ McQueen, 244.3 there for Cratrium. Again, that will be pole. 246.318 for Odd Drex, a 30'd 250.882 for Wise and Mitten. That'll put him at the back of the pack. ISU Nicky Bobby, 251.193, racing for the first time here in the Forza Spec Racing Series. A 251.4 for Patches Riley. Toyo Sama, who did have the quickest qualifying time there for a little bit. He'll drop back to, I think that's going to be 3rd or 4th quickest at 244.759. Stevie Superstack with a 246.272. Food Tank with a 247. A 245 triple ones for DTS Mondo. Ovation with a 254. A 250 for Fox Jason D. And Modern Weapon with a dirty 248 and was unable to finish qualifying. That too will put him toward the back of the pack. As a matter of fact, he'll be the caboose here on the train, at least for the start. And we'll see if he's able to make up any positions thereafter. Alrighty. There we go. We'll see if anybody drops into our driver's spotlight. One last chance to take a look at the standings here before we commence week number 3, Road America. And then after these 11 laps, we will be at the halfway point here for season 39. And we'll begin the second half out at Brands Hatch, the Indy circuit. And that's going to be a fun one. That's going to be like bumper to bumper traffic on the California highways there, the Indy circuit of Brands Hatch. Not a big track if you're familiar, or if you're unfamiliar, you know it's not. Or well, if you're unfamiliar, let me just tell you, it's not a big track. If you are familiar, you know already what we can expect. There's going to be a lot of overtaking, a lot of the lap traffic, maybe putting a lap or 2 or 3 or 4 on the between them and the slower paced cars. But that's okay. Forza Spec Racing Series, they consider themselves a beer league. Yes, it is competitive by nature. It's racing. You can't take the competitiveness out of racing. That's impossible. But it is accommodating to drivers of all skill levels. And we're going to see that here We will most certainly see that. And as long as drivers keep it clean, that's okay. That's all that is asked of them. Not everybody can win the race. So do as good as you can. Set your own personal goal and try to top that. Try to meet or exceed it. All right, it's going to be, it looks like a nice, partly to mostly cloudy day. It's not the overcast skybox that you can get here with Road America, but rather just a kind of a cloudy, partly to mostly cloudy sky. Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. That's where we're at. That's where Road America resides in the United States here. Carryout could be a big sleeper here tonight. Okay. All right. Joe Beardy dropping some thoughts, some predictions. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and just queue up a predictor here. Let's go ahead and queue it up. Craytrim is our pole sitter for this race. Will Craytrim get his first victory here in Season 39? Will Craytrim get first Season 39 victory at Road America? Whoop, that's going to be too many. Will Craytrim get first? Let's do this. Season 39 victory at Road America. Let's go with that. That'll work. You guys know what I mean by it. Yes, no, and I'll let you have 15 minutes. There you go. Use your executables here on the X-Venture channel to pick your poison. What is going to be the outcome of that one? Fear the Fun joining us here in the driver's spotlight. Fear the Fun. Let's see. I'm going to go back here to the finishing results. You got a... Oh, gosh, by the time I find your name, you're probably going to be able to spit it out quicker for me. A 246.4. 246.4.
Yes, sir.
Does that kind of equal what your, I don't know, practice? I know you guys were doing some practice here before the qualifying session, or is that a little bit behind?
To say I practiced would be an overstatement, because I did not. Not even a little bit.
You were out there, right? Unless you were just kind of sitting in the corner in your Miata?
I was puttering around, but I was also sending invites and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You were occupied on multiple fronts. We now have 22 drivers out there on the grid. Not going to be too much of a concern out here at Road America. You got a big 4.12 mile track versus that out at Brands Hatch Indy. So I'm guessing dealing with traffic, not necessarily at the top of your concerns here, at least for the first race of the night.
I mean, I'd hope not. How do you get lapped on Road America? It's so big. These cars are really, really slow. You can't be that slow.
It'll happen. It'll happen. You know that.
I don't think so. Not unless somebody, dies at, the very beginning of the track and says we can't drive backwards. He's got to put around. I don't see it.
Where, what part of Road America, all the twists and turns, which most of them are high-speed corners here at Road America. Very few of them are slow speed. What corner is going to be the one that, if any, is going to trip you up?
Probably the not the kink. Where the dog leg would be, the little jut out thing.
Okay.
I hate it.
When you saw Road America, you're like, oh, cool, we get to go to Road America, and then you saw, full alternate.
Yeah, exactly. It's like looking at the track as it is great. And then somebody decided to, we're going to, instead of giving you the dog leg, which is a great technical term that you have to hit perfectly, we're just going to cut that out, and we're going to make a really hard left and then a hard right, and it doesn't look good, it doesn't flow good, and you got to go real slow for it.
Joe Beardy not only dropping little bits of knowledge in the chat, but also the jokester here says, watch, Fear is going to be the one who gets lapped.
Where he at? He ain't on the track. He didn't show up tonight. He's sitting there on the sideline. He ain't doing nothing. He can't talk nothing.
That's true. That's true, Joe Beardy. I know Joe Beardy is maybe eyeing the oval there out at Homestead next week, but he's gonna
lose that too. Don't worry.
He's gonna sit back and comment here in the chat. here we are going into the halfway point of the season. Are you pretty happy with where you are overall on the standings? As it happens to be coming out of week 2, you are 9th overall, 70 points to Foontang's 72.
I was in 7th the week before that. I'm going backwards. I need to go to the front.
Okay. All right. You're going to make it happen here tonight then, yeah?
Probably not. Road America is one of the. It's not a tricky track, but you mess up once. It's an uphill battle from there.
Yeah.
And then when you're at Brands Hatch is the Devil's Circle from Britain, which makes sense because they're terrible.
Yeah, that one's that is the thorn in my side too. Brands Hatch is, and then you throw in a little bit of precipitation, and it continues to go downhill, and not in the good way.
It's in the rain too, so everybody's gonna hate life.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. A little optimism here in Fear the Fun. That's what you need. But best of luck to you, and we'll see how you do here at Road America.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Joe Beardy says, "I love it when Fear the Fun speaks." I do too. The dude is he's gonna tell it to you straight. He's not gonna beat around the bush with his responses. Some drivers will come into the driver's spotlight and they'll put on a very posturing themselves as if they want to answer every question quote unquote correctly. And then you got some drivers who are like, you know what, Dustin, I'm going to treat this interview like I treat the racing out there. I'm not going to take it too seriously. Have a little fun with it, and I can appreciate that. We are up to 22 drivers. I thought we had 24 there for a second, but Kuda is the latest to join in on the fun here tonight. Good to see Kuda be able to make it out on the track. He is currently, Kuda is 12th overall right now with 62 points, just behind Slipstream, who has 67. And here comes Slow Motion Fire telling us that we are ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and put the camera on RZ and McQueen, who's going to start opposite of Krachim there on row number 1. And it's Toyo Sama and Floofy on row number 2. DTS Mondo and DOR carry out row 3. Slipstream and Super Stack there on row number 4. Audrex, Barf Monkey, and Fear the Fun further back in the grid ordering than I thought he was supposed to be, but maybe I just don't understand how to do math. That's possible. Chili Cheese is going to be a pedal to the metal vroom zoom, and it really is. I mean, this track, you got wide open throttle for a good chunk of it. I don't know, 70, 80%. All right, you hear the revving of the motors. Here we go. Kick the tires, light the fires. Week number 3. Season 39 is underway. And it is our pole sitter, Krachim, who's going to lead them into turn number 1, followed by RZ and McQueen. Toyo Sama there in 3rd. SGR Floofy. DTS Mondo in 5th. Slipstream, Carryout, Super Stack. Audrex, Barf Monkey, as Toyo Sama going a little bit wide, getting 4 wheels onto the rumble strip, the runoff area there into turn number 1. You don't want to do that here at turn number, well, this is technically turn 3 that we see them going into right now. The architects of Road America count the slight change in I guess angle there of the downhill section between 1 and 3. They count that as a corner. And now down the infield straightaway they go. Let's go ahead and hop on board here as we get the not too favorable camera riding aboard here with RZ and McQueen in 2nd. Closes in a little bit here on Krachim. Krachim going to keep it nice and tidy, not get too carried away with it on those cold tires. And now into the left-hand corner, which you really have no visibility to until you come up over that hill. But if you haven't started braking before that hill, it's going to be a little too late. You'll run wide. Looks like everybody's going to come out of that corner with the cars largely on the track. Well done. Let's go ahead and bring our camera back out as they come up to the Johnsonville sign, into the carousel, out onto the back straightaway with that dog leg. McQueen keeping pace there with Krachim. It's SDR Floofy still in 3rd, Toyo Sama in 4th, Fear the Fun up to 5th position. So wherever it was that he started this race, he has definitely made leaps and bounds. And you see the dogleg here, and you don't really have, you see off to the side of the track here, apart from the part where you make the right-hander, you don't have any rumble strips, so it's a little bit more narrow on that part of the track than the rest of the circuit here at Road America. Now through Kettle Bottoms up to Canada Corner, and oh no, we got the loading screen, and we may be losing somebody here. Baby, come back. There we go. I'll take a look at the ticker to see who that might be. That's going to be DOR Carryout, unfortunately. Joe Beardy telling us that Carryout was going to be the big sleeper. Yeah, he's sleeping all right. He's going to have to watch this one from the sidelines unless they decide to restart the race. I don't know that that's going to be the case. Back up to McQueen in second position. Beginning of lap number 2. Again, 4.12 mile Road America circuit. And as I see all the dots go across the start-finish line, it doesn't appear that anybody is going into pit lane, which is a good sign. But the field starting to thin out a little bit. Our top 2 drivers, Krejci and McQueen, trying to pull away from the field. Then you've got another duo there in the battle for third, Floofy and Toyosama. Let's go to Toyosama. And STR Floofy, the driver who went back-to-back in week number 2, racing for the Scrubs Go Racing team. And right now with 100 points to his name, good momentum going into week 3. Gets a little squirrely on the braking there, does Floofy. That's going to allow Toyosama to close that gap a bit. And now coming up to that Corvette sign. Look at that. I mean, you have no visibility into this corner, and you see the taillights of Floofy's Miata light up before he goes over the crest. You've got to commit to the braking ahead of time. And now do that right-hand kink, back downhill, hurry downs. Fear the Fun still in 5th, Barney in 6th, Barth Monkey in 7th, Kuda, Mondo, Audrex, 8th, 9th, and 10th, respectively. As I'd mentioned a little bit earlier on in the cast, Road America, either one of the original tracks here in Forza Motorsport or came on very early on in the franchise, but it did receive an overhaul before it returned in Forza Motorsport 6, I want to say it was, that it had gone away for a little bit, probably for its overhaul, and then it was re-released as add-on content, not paid content, but I think it was downloadable content, free of charge, making its return to Forza Motorsport. Now up the hill here for the conclusion of lap number 2, and it'll be Krejci who leads them across. He's still in the top spot. Floofy continues to hold on to 3rd with Toyosama, who we're looking at right now, in 4th. Fear the Fun in 5th. Carryout with the resubscription. Tier 3? Tier 3. What gives? Holy smokes. Thank you so much, Carryout. I appreciate your continued support, closing in on that 12-month mark. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Carryout saying I DC'd Joe Beardy. That's the gremlins of online racing for you. I've said it once, I've said it a million times. That's your real racing equivalent to, or that's your virtual racing equivalent to a real-world engine malfunction. And McQueen going to go a little bit wide, but the Mazda, the 1990 Miata, will fit on that rumble strip path there that you have coming out of the left-hander. So take it wide if you will, if you want. And the driver is giving a little bit of a liberty to do so during the race itself. Now, obviously, they're not looking for you to cut corners, but in areas where in real-world racing you would anticipate drivers to run a little bit wide, come back out onto the racing surface, that's acceptable. You don't want to do it during qualifying because they stick to the clean Forza lap rules. So you want to stick it between, at least keep 2 tires in between the double wide, or the on either side of the in between the white lines. Oh my gosh. Holy smokes. Hope you guys don't mind the pit siren. We're going to hear it a bit here. Wow. Carry out, dude. Thank you very much. You really are too kind. Braytrim is still our race leader. RZ McQueen in second. Floofy is still in third. Toyo Sama has fallen back a little bit. Let's go to Fear the Fun, who is, well, we talked to him in the driver's spotlight. He's in fifth with that Ally liveried Miata. Oh my gosh. 20 gifted subs. I don't know that this channel, I think the only other time that there's been a gifted sub amount this high was from Rosdersteam, and I believe Carryout, you've just matched that. Actually, Carryout, you might have done that before too. Super, super generous. Down the infield straightaway underneath the Sargento cheese bridge, by the way. Makes me hungry just thinking about it. You ate the whole wheel of cheese? Let's drop back a little bit. Let's go to Stevie Superstack. Not having the best run right now. He's third overall on the leaderboard, 93 points. But right now, in ninth, tucked behind Kuda and just out in front of Audrex. And Kuda's going to get a little bit sideways there in the pink 1990 Miata, the Barbie car. And now they're going to go too wide here. Kuda, Stevie, and Kuda's going to get double passed. Audrex now moves up to ninth. Stevie to eighth, and now here comes Audrex to the inside. Makes the move on Stevie. He's going to switch it up. Try to make the switchback happen. He does. However, as they go into the carousel, Audrex has the inside line, but he gets 2 wheels off into the grass. That's going to put his car into a fit. And now Stevie moves back up to 8th. Audrex in 9th. And Kuda in the Barbie car falls back to 10th as we see the overhead view there. Kuda thought about going to the inside of Audrex. Thought better of it. Got on the brakes. And instead will be on the backside there of Audrex as they come out of the dog leg and back out onto the main circuit. And Audrex and Kuda at risk of losing more positions. Here comes DTS Mondo in 11th. DTS Mondo's going to light it up here into Canada corner. Alongside Kuda, he squeezes in right behind. What a professional move that was there by DTS Mondo. Well done. The driver who's sporting the Mexican flag. The flag of Mexico there. Flying it proudly on the front end of the Mazda Miata. And now he breaks into the top 10 up the hill. And let's see if he can chase down Audrex. Slim Jim saying, let's go Fear. Whew. I think we got all 20 of the subs there. Thanks again, Carryout, and congratulations to Unironically Average, Patches Riley, Chili Cheese, Cheetah, Moose Inertia Garage, Rosdersteam. Oh, look at that. Rosdersteam getting one back at him. Scott is H Gamer, Scottish Gamer 1, Cactus, Jack Cactus. Not Cactus, but Cactacus. There we go. The Games All Day, Pirolino 1966, LFTH, Indy Suzuki, Sir Mighty, Old Scratch, LS Unku, Red Craig, Ultra Nubian, Eyeless Camper, Mav Actually, Officer B41, and Sir Rengetti. Congratulations, you pick up a Tier 1 subscription care of Carryout. Here we are on lap number 5 of 11. That 12th lap will be a cooldown lap. Kratrim, who was our pole sitter after qualifying with a 2:44 and some change, is still our race leader. RZ McQueen in second, Floofy in third, Toyo-sama in fourth. Fear the Fun, then LS Barney and Barf Monkey. Let's go to Barf Monkey right now in 7th position. Got that Air Force fighter jet livery there. I love it. Trying to chase down what is the, I think, the Falcon Tire? No, it's LS Barney in his Barney car. I love you. And I think LS Barney might be slightly mistaken. It says RX-7 there in the license plate. Not quite. Not quite. You can pretend, though. Here comes Barf Monkey. Going to look to the inside here of Barney. And look at this. He's going to go side by side in the Canada corner with Barney. Barney's going to put on the squeeze. And no can do for Barf Monkey, at least through that corner. He'll have to try again. Let's quickly go up to RZ and McQueen. They go across the line, beginning of lap number 6 here. 6 laps remaining. Down into turn number 1. McQueen, our Season 37, Season 38 champion. As the Season 38 champion, he picked this 1990 Miata, 156 horsepower, 135 foot-pounds of torque, 1,980 pounds curb weight. Puts it at D400 here in the Forza Spec Racing Series. And now makes the charge down the infield straightaway. Gets ready to take on the left-hander. And he finds himself about 3 or 4 car lengths behind Kratrim at this point. Toyo-sama still there in 4th. Fear the Fun. He's got a little bit of elbow space. And unfortunately, he's going to run it wide. Make a pretty good recovery. I don't know that he loses a lot of time there, but every single little mistake just going to bring him further off the pace of Toyo-sama. You see Toyo-sama also up there running solo out on the track. Let's see, LS Barney in 6th. Let's go back to that battle for 6th. LS Barney, Barf Monkey, and they even have Stevie Superstack in the mix. Here comes Barf Monkey. He's going to the inside. They're going to make contact. And Stevie Superstack, as a result, is going to run a little bit wide to avoid the contact that was made there. And as a result, he's able to get around Barf Monkey. Now he's going to go and head and put the pressure on with Barney here coming out of the carousel. Side by side, down the back straightaway they come. Let me go ahead and get the camera in the right spot here. Barney on the outside here coming to the right-hand part of the dog leg. Now they're going to re-emerge on the track and a couple of wheels off into the grass. It's going to be Barney dropping back to 7th. And now here comes Barf Monkey, says, I do want that position. Give it to me. Joe Beardy says, Barney is good at driving a car wide. This could turn into a good scrap. It definitely has proven to be exactly that here. And he tries it again through Canada corner. But Barf Monkey, just too good there. Doesn't allow him to get by. So Barney will hold on to 7th. And see if he can keep pace with Stevie. Stevie, who's trying to eke out all the points he can. Hold on to his P3 position on the leaderboard. Or even maybe even try to climb a little bit. He's only 1 point back from Kratrim. But right now, with Kratrim being our race leader, Stevie Superstack's going to have to aspire for more than just 4th, but he's got his work cut out for him. pardon me, aspire for more than just 6th. He's got a little bit of a drive there to catch up with Fear. Even more of a drive to catch up with Toyosama. And now our battle for first has turned into a 3-way battle as SGR Floofy has caught up with our race leader and second place, that being Cratrim and Arzia McQueen. Those positions remain unchanged from the start of the race. Thanks for hanging out with me, folks, here on a Tuesday night, March the 23rd. If you're not yet already following the channel, click that follow button. What's it going to hurt you? So what? I'll be the umpteenth million channel that you followed here on Twitch. But I promise you, on Tuesdays, you can't find any better channel. Now, when I say any butter channel, I ruin it right there, right? No, there's a lot of great channels here on Twitch. Very happy to have kind of our own little corner here in the Forza Motorsport directory. And yes, as Forza Motorsport 7 continues to age, it is making it a little bit harder to retain some of the viewers. But those of you who keep coming back, thank you. Thank you so much. Zane Taylor says, but if I hit the follow button, I'll unfollow. I don't want that. Ooh, okay, fine. Fine, have it your way. Luffy into the right-hander toward the start-finish line. Trying to keep pace here with Arzia McQueen, which is no easy task. Our back-to-back champion. If Arzia McQueen, by the way, was able to win Season 39, which right now is going to become quite a Herculean task if he can't really get some wins here in Week 3 and then in Week 4, he would be the first driver to go back-to-back-to-back. Oh, and there we go. As soon as I put the solicitation out there to follow, people leave. I just got to shut my trap. Just let y'all watch. ART Riku, thank you so much for the follow. Back to 8th position, Barf Monkey. This has really been some of the most exciting racing out on the track, 6th through 10th, I would say. 6th being Stevie Superstack, at least right now. Then Barney, then Barf Monkey, Art Dimes, and DTS Mondo, who's fallen back to 10th. Well, actually, no, Mondo made his way up to 10th. Bootang in 11th, Slipstream in 12th. Kuda has fallen back to 13th. That one I could say with confidence. Slow Motion Fire in 14th. Oddrex in 15th. Modern Weapon in 16th. OK Fox, Jason V in 17th. Then it's Weisenmitten, Patches Riley, Nicky Bobby, Ovation, 18th through 21st. We did lose one driver, Carryout, unfortunately, getting disconnected early on. Very early on in lap number 1, and I don't even think halfway through lap number 1. Yeah, we can go take a look at Dimes. There in 9th, finds himself behind Barf Monkey and in front of DTS Mondo. Coming out of the carousel. Let's see, gonna be on the left-hand side there, and then brings it over onto the back bumper of Barf Monkey, and they go side by side, front wheels to back wheels. Let's see if he can line it up here on the straightaway into Canada corner. He is. Here they go. Side. Well, nope. I take it back. He drops back onto the rear bumper of of Barf Monkey, and let's see if he can maybe work up a little bit of a slipstream here. But Barf Monkey's been very competitive here into Canada corner. Out of Kettle Bottoms, and yeah, Barf Monkey's not going to leave any room. He's going to give the outside up here, but that's not going to be the best positioning. And as a result, Dimes runs wide, able to bring it back on before losing a spot to Mondo, but Mondo's got the momentum here. And beginning of lap number 9 as we watch P9. Dimes running in the Forza Spec Racing Series with the orange number board. That signifies first appearance here in FM4. No stranger to Forza, though, as you might be able to assume or guess from the performance and with the team tag there, ART. Let's go to RZM McQueen, who finds himself about maybe 2 or 3 tenths back from Cratrim here as they come up the hill underneath the Corvette bridge. Cratrim trying to get his first victory here in Season 39 on the predictor. 63% of you who cast your prediction said that Cratrim would win this race, while 37% of you said, nope, he ain't going to do it. Still a lot of racing. Yes, it is lap 9 of 11, but it's a 4.12 mile circuit here in the 156 horsepower Miatas, and at 2 minutes and 44, probably more around a 246 average at this point when you're in the racing mode. That leaves us a lot of racing to go. Art Riku says, Dimes the GOAT. The GOAT. Let's go ahead and ride on board here with McQueen. Actually, let's drop back one spot. Let's go to Floofy. Crank up the sound. Based on how things are looking to finish here in this race, if it carries over to Brands Hatch Indy, which is our second race here in the evening, we're going to have quite the shuffling of drivers on the overall leaderboard, and this may very well be. And I don't say this lightly or easily. Yeah, I know I can really spit the hyperbole and say that every season is very competitive, but this truly might be one of the more exciting seasons going into week 4 that we've seen in some time. RZM McQueen has really dominated the last 2 seasons, and this is shaping up to be something different. So if you enjoy Forza Motorsport 7 racing and you're liking what you're seeing here tonight, more of it to come over the next 2 Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on X-Venture. Into the carousel for the 10th time. And their next time will be the last time this race. All right, looks like what was shaping up to be a little bit close. Well, it kind of still is, with RZM McQueen nipping at the heels there of Cratrim. So consistent. I mean, these are where these drivers started this race. This is the exact position that they were in off the line. Krejcim in first, Queen in second, Floofy in third, and they've kept their spots over the last 10 laps, and now here they come up the hill. Flagman will drop the white flag. 1 to go here in race number 5, season 39, Forza Spec Racing Series. Dimes moving up to 8th position now from 9th. Was able to get around Barf Monkey, who now finds himself on the edge of the top 10 in P10. Barney moves up to 7th. DTS Mondo in 9th. Into turn number 1. Try to keep it composed. Don't want to make any mistakes here. And ART Dimes joining at this point in the season. Not going to be in the running for the championship, but you might as well get acquainted with the drivers around you and maybe go into season 40 a bit more the wiser about who's going to be your closest competition, what their weak points are. Of course, you go from a season like this in the Mazda Miata in D400 class, and then who knows, we may very well be in an S-Class car come season 40. It's all up to the champion. Whoever wins season number 39 gets to dictate what vehicle is used next season, which will probably get kicked off in May after they take about a 3-week off-season break. It's looking like that first Tuesday in May for the start of season 40, but I don't know that for certain. That's just based off of how things typically work here. FM4, that would be my guess. And here they come into Kettle Bottoms for the final time here out at Road America. They've got the spacing, so if Krejcim can hold on to it, he'll pick up his first win in season 39 and a cool 50 points to help him out on the leaderboard and try to get back up into the top spot. He was there after week number 1 after finishing in second place back-to-back out at Lime Rock and Sonoma. And so Krejcim finally going to shake the P2 blues, if you can even call him that. And with his drive by the flag stand, he gets the checkers, followed by RZM McQueen, SGR Floofy in third, Toyosama all by himself out there, gonna easily grab 4th position. In 5th, it's Fear the Fun, and unless something happens here on the front straightaway, he'll be okay. Stevie Superstack, his closest competitor, but by about a second or second and a half back. He'll finish in 6th. 7th goes to Art Dimes. LS Barney in 8th. DTS Mondo in 9th. Barf Monkey 10th. Slipstream in 11th. 12th is Kuda. Foontang in 13th. Audrex, Modern Weapons, Slow Motion Fire, OK Fox, Jason D. Weisenmitten, Patches Riley, Ovation, Nicky Bobby. Assuming they don't change position there on the backside of the track, those two will finish 20th and 21st. All right, folks. Going to do the thing that I always do here in between races. Going to take a little bit of a break. Going to play some music for you all, or at least for those of you who are a subscriber to the channel. And that's a lot of you now at this point, thanks to Carryout. For those of you who are not a sub, appreciate you if you can hang out throughout the ads. It does support the broadcast, and it enables anybody who might be joining us a little bit later on in the broadcast to avoid those pre-roll ads, which is always nice. They get right into the action. You're watching the Forza Spec Racing Series here live on Twitch TV. I'm Dustin Moore. We'll see you on the other side of the break. Hey, welcome back, X-Venture Live on Twitch TV. As we get ready for our second race of the evening, yes, it's a twofer here on Tuesdays. Road America is in the rearview mirror, and we've got Brands Hatch Indy Circuit, the short course, up ahead. 3 laps of qualifying, followed by 27 laps of racing, I think. Let me check myself on that one. 33 laps. You get more value, more bang for your buck here on Twitch TV. And X-Venture, I'm Dustin Moore. Chili Cheese says that car on the picture looks so happy. Yeah, the Miatas are known as they're the smiley car. That's for sure. There's plenty of memes out there on the internet. How happy Miatas are. The one you see on the screen right now, a little sleepy. That's because they work so down hard. And then also saying, man, Venture is so genuine person, I feel like. Anyway, I appreciate that, Chili Cheese. There's very little showmanship here. I'm trying to be as authentic as I can possibly be, and to a fault. Mesosphere, hello. Good to see you again. Guys, another one that you should be following here on Twitch. Mesosphere does a lot of paints, does a lot of racing, although I think Meza is maybe taking a little bit of a break from the racing here. Understandably so. Maybe we'll see him in the forthcoming Forza titles. And Mesosphere, I've got to give credit to Meza, is really kind of the inspiration for me to play Dirt Rally 2.0, which I will be playing when Season 39 of the Forza Spec Racing Series comes to a head here in 2 weeks' time. So 3 weeks from tonight, you guys can watch me here, and I'm excited to say this because I know a lot of folks here on the channel were fans. A lot of viewers were fans of me playing Dirt Rally 2.0, and then I switched it up. We're going to talk a little bit more about that here at the end of the broadcast, but yeah, Dirt Rally 2.0 coming back in 3 weeks' time after the season has ended. Let's go ahead and pull into the driver spotlight. LS Barney finishing 8th position. Man, you guys really had a big-time battle back there. It's ART Dimes who was able to finish out in front of you in 7th. You are in front of DTS Mondo, but really, you, Stevie Superstack, Barf Monkey, I think Kuda was maybe in the mix there for a little bit. A lot of action.
Yeah, I had good pace. I was faster than Barf Monkey, just maybe by 10th at most. But Dimes, I've raced him before in other leagues. He's insanely quick, and he was able to just cut through the pack from, I think, last place where he started and ended up in 7th. So he was insanely fast, and I was just a bit frustrated that he got me right at the final corner too.
Yeah, we saw you guys duking it out through, I think it was Canada Corner a couple of times, where I think I think put kind of the brakes on him and kept him from making the pass around you. And it paid off that you were able to finish there in 8th position in front of Barf Monkey, who finished 10th. You seem like a really mellow dude, but man, does that excitement there mid-pack really get your adrenaline going?
Yeah, at times it's just at the final, final few laps, my heart was just started pounding because I knew he was going to catch me and be within like a 10th at least by the final lap. And with the fact, with how I made that one mistake right outside of the carousel, letting him catch up to me, I knew that at that point he was going to get me before the line.
Yeah, I get you on the mellow side. You relax down from that adrenaline rush and then cool it down here for the driver's spotlight. I can appreciate that, because then you got to bottle it up and save it for Brands Hatch Indy. What do you make of the course, and do you anticipate the weather really impacting your driving style here?
I'm not the biggest fan of Brands Hatch Indy. The GP circuit, it's great, but the Indy circuit, I'm not the biggest fan of. But the rain, it might give me a bit of an advantage because, like I said before in other interviews, I love racing in the rain.
Yeah, you're one of those unique drivers that really appreciates having a little bit of precipitation to go along with the cornering there. So we'll see how that one fares for you. If that was exciting out there at Road America with that mid-pack battle, I mean, this might just be like heart racing for you here. Is small track, I think less than a mile or maybe right at a mile. There's going to be
Yeah,
a lot of traffic. Yeah, 1.21. So a lot of traffic to deal with.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem is going to be overtaking. The only place I can, just looking at the track, the only
Yeah.
place to overtake would be possible would be corner 2 in that hairpin.
Mm-hmm.
Because for one, it's just such a high speed corner in these cars. It's not going to be an easy corner to take by yourself, let alone with someone right at your side.
Without showing your hand too much, are you a high side driver, or do you like to keep it close to the apex there through the hairpin there at 2?
Yeah, I think the apex is probably where
Yeah.
I'm going to try to defend the most and overtake the most.
Yeah. A lot of
But
folks tend to take that a little bit wide, and then you find yourself in the grass on the exit. Yeah.
Yeah, the exit, if you just slightly wide, just touching that grass, especially in the wet now, it's going to cost you a bunch of time.
And I think you were going to say something there before I interrupted you. Any other thoughts here on this one?
Oh, yeah, I was going to say it is possible to overtake on the outside if you get a better run from the corner, because the next corner you'd get the inside line, which should allow you to just squeeze past the other car, but the inside line is probably going to be the best place to overtake.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to take the outside, you got to be very careful. It's a tight balance before of big time entry speed and then slowing it down, because if you take that corner wide, and especially in the wet, that's not going to fare too well. If we had degradation to the environment out of corners, that would probably just be a big soupy muddy mess out there. We're going to see a couple of cars, I'm guessing, going wide there out of 2. LS Barney, again, congrats there on the 8th place finish out at Road America. Best of luck in qualifying here at Brands.
All right, thank you.
All right, and let's go ahead and one other driver before we get out to, and I've just been disconnected from the lobby. I don't know about everybody else. Ovation, give me 1 second here. Let me throw you back into the queue while I resolve my lobby issues, and then we'll try to get Ovation back in here in the driver's spotlight. I'm not certain if maybe the entire lobby crashed. Oh, Kracham telling us the lobby crashed. Kracham also telling us there during that driver's spotlight interview, well, there goes my streak of second place finishes. Oh, darn, huh? Kracham picking up his first win here in season 39, and that's going to pay off big on that leaderboard. Because, yes, he was he was at the top coming out of week 1, and then Floofy's back-to-back victories in week 2 put him with a nice cool 100 at the top. So Kracham there, 94, trying to catch up. And also, not only trying to catch up with Floofy, but then also put a little bit of distance between him, Stevie Superstack, and Arzia McQueen. This might take a little bit here, folks, as Foontang, who's coordinating things today because of some ongoing, apparently ongoing lobby issues, is going to have to get it all started back up and try to get 22, 23 drivers. May take a little bit extra time than what we would normally see between our first race and second race of the evening. Invite sent out. Okay, I'll be on the lookout for it. Thank you, Slow. I don't know what it is, but right now my Xbox PC application does not allow me to just join anybody's lobbies, so that's something I got to try to figure out. It's been resolved in the past with updates, so I'm keeping my eyes open for an update to the Xbox app here on PC. That's the only thing that I've found to be a disadvantage in terms of Xbox gaming on PC, is just the it doesn't work out as easily as on the console in joining other people's lobbies. And of course, the notification hasn't come through on my end yet. Sorry, folks. This is the sausage making of online racing that I know isn't the sexiest, right? We want to see the racing. We don't want to have to be dealing with lobby creation, and then I've got to ramble my way through it. Chili Cheese saying, ooh, Dirt Rally. Yeah, Dirt Rally 2.0. 3 weeks from tonight, after the Forza Spec Racing Series Season 39 has come to a close, I will have, I think, like I said, I think it's going to be about 3 weeks of Dirt Rally 2.0 before they get Season 40 started. Come on. I might have to ask. Fear the Fun has been really successful at sending me invites and me receiving those, so I might have to ask if I can get one from Fear. Fear, you can hear the sound of my voice. And it looks like others are having to get invites as well. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what the dealio is. And of course, that's not doesn't make for great content either. I know the Online Racing Association, TORA, they've expressed their frustration, saying that it's affected some of their events, from NASCAR to, I believe, what was their last event? NASCAR, and then Sebring. I think it was their Sebring race that it may have had an impact on. All right, I'm back in the lobby. Let's see if I've got Ovation here, still in the driver's spotlight. Ovation, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Awesome. Finished 20th back there between Patches O'Reilly and Nicky Bobby. Great names, and you've got a good one for yourself. How are you liking things here in FM4 in season 39?
I'm liking it. I'm learning a lot. Tonight was another lesson. But no, I'm enjoying it.
What a lesson that is, too. I mean, you go out to the big 4.12 mile circuit of Road America, and now you got to kind of switch up your mentality. You're going to have a lot of things happening around you at all times in this race. Just 1.21 miles out at Brands Hatch Indy. So how do you, as a driver who, you're trying to get yourself familiarized with the driving in Forza 7, but at the same time trying to respect all the other folks out on the track, how do you maintain that balance of trying to learn, but at the same time not being a hindrance all at the same time?
Just staying out of the way.
That's all you can do, right?
Staying out of the way, and but also trying to run my line as best as I can without getting in anybody's way. I realize I'm slower, so whenever I see the lead lap dudes come by, I just get over a little bit.
Yeah.
Let them run that race.
How familiar are you with Brands Hatch Indy?
So I did, me and Wizen used to do C-class races on that track. And that first corner is probably the most, it's the most challenging corner there. So I'm just going to be looking forward to getting through that first turn without hitting the sand.
That's
my goal for tonight.
Yeah, that's a race breaker there. Paddock Hill Bend is. That first corner, turn number 1, that's going to be the one I think is going to catch a lot of folks, even on that first lap, and then it just continues on from there. Talking with Ovation here in the driver's spotlight before you get ready for 3 laps of qualifying. Let's go ahead. Let's put you on the spot. Where do you want to finish out here at Brands Hatch?
Not last.
Not last. There you go. Hey, whatever works for you, and we'll see that happens. If not, hey, you know what? There's another week of racing. Ovation, great chatting with you. I know I'm working quick here, but I see you guys all ready and up. So best of luck during qualifying here at Brands Hatch.
Thanks.
All right, there you go. Another new face, I guess, virtually, right? Another new face, new name in the driver's spotlight. I love it that folks are they get the courage or the gumption, whatever you want to call it, to come in here and chat with me a little bit. And I hate to rush some of the folks, but every once in a while we have incidents like this where the lobby crashes, and then I've got to work out the logistics, and then we get back in, and then everybody's ready to get out there on the track real fast. So a quick little in and out there of the driver's spotlight, and now we get ready for 3 laps of qualifying. 22 drivers out on the grid, so we're back up to 22. We did lose one out at Road America very early on, that being carry out. We'll see if we can't hold on to everybody here on this final race of the evening. Get some audio going. Chili Cheese, it's amazing making races and people can watch. You know, that's the joy for me. I've been a Forza Motorsport fan for far too long, ever since the game debuted in 2005, and I am not at all I'll walk it back a little bit. I am a competitive racer, but I find myself enjoying the game a lot more when I can watch everybody else. And yes, that means that I'm putting myself in a position to be a blabbermouth, but you know, if I can put the spotlight on other folks let y'all see them run the race. And hey, if you don't want to listen to me, then just hit the mute button. Completely understand. This is where I get the gratification. Truly is. Sticks, by the way, a couple of minutes ago, or 10 minutes ago, Sticks with the follow. Thank you very much. Glad to have you, and hopefully you're still hanging out with us here after a little bit of a delay there during the switch between Road America and Brands Hatch. Let's go ahead and put the stats there in the bottom left. Art or ART. I don't know if they go by art. I keep saying that as if that's the thing that they say, but ART Dimes did have the quickest time there for a second before Cratrium came across the 56-something, and then Floofy with a 56.5. That being on the standing start, so we'll see what happens here on the flying lap. As we go to the Barney car, the Lightspeed esports driver, LS Barney. Oh, you guys had to cancel like league races and all kinds of stuff because of the server issues. It's disappointing, that's for sure. It's definitely kind of like an ebb and flow with Forza, where you get into peaks of really good connection quality, and then there's these troughs where it's like, when will the madness end? Toyosama into the hairpin here at turn number 2, and this is where Barney was telling us that, yeah, you got the option of the outside line if you so wish to seek it out to try to get around a driver early on in the lap, but it's kind of this is a very tricky track to pass. There's not a lot of places where you want to go side by side. Even coming up here to the Brabham Straight, like by the time you come out of this right-hander and you've got the pedal to the metal here in the 1990 Miata, like you may not have the oomph to get around your opponent, so then you go back at it, Paddock Hill Bend, and you try to do it again. And really, it's this. I feel like this particular track and this configuration, Indy, and with these cars, it's going to be a game of capitalizing on mistakes. Capitalizing on mistakes. You're not going to see a lot of wheel-to-wheel racing, but somebody goes off in Paddock Hill or coming down the hill into this left-hander. If they run it wide onto the little bit of runoff area that you do have, there's kind of like a I don't know what you call it, but there's these weird, I don't know. It's a weird pattern of concrete that you have to work with there on that left-hander. You got a little bit of that, but you take it too much wide, and you're going to really be spinning your tires through the grass. And we will have a little bit of precipitation here at the end of the race, on the back half of this one. 100% chance of light rain. So it's starting out with overcast skies. Look at this, Toyosama with a 54.090. Looks like Toyosama, who entering week number 3 was 6th overall on the leaderboard, tied with DTS Mondo at 79 points. Looks like Toya is going to be our pole sitter. Ain't that special? ART Dimes with a 55.186, a 55.197 for Barney. Toyosama with that 54.090. Rachel with a 54.152, a 54.409 for Floofy. Another 54.4 there for Stevie Superstack, a 55.9 for Born as Ghost. Good to see Born as Ghost back out on the track. Audrex with a 55.8. Fox Jason D with a 55.9, a 55.3 for Slipstream. 54.4 there for McQueen, and 54.2 for Mondo. Man, those first few rows are going to be stacked with 54s. 54.981 there for Barf Monkey. Nicky Bobby with a 56.979, able to keep it clean this go around. Foontang with a 54.9. Modern Weapon with a 55.8. 56.0. 56.0 for Weizenmitten. Fear the Fun with a 54.9. Man, 57.606 there for Slow Motion Fire. 56.775 for Patches Riley. Kudo with a 55.1. 56.6 for Ovation. And a round of applause. Well done. All the drivers able to keep it clean. Get at least one clean lap in there. That's what we like to see. It's never fun going into the race, put at the back of the pack, not because you were the slowest driver, but because you just had a dirty lap. Like, that's a little bit discouraging. Everybody with a clean lap here to start things out ahead of the 30 laps. 33 laps. Man, I keep wanting to peel away laps away from this race. First, it was 27, then I said 30. Now it'll be 33 here at the 1.21 mile Brands Hatch Indy Circuit. Whew. This has been a fun night. And I'm telling you guys, the standings after this week, they're going to get a little shaken up. Things are going to be very interesting heading into week number 4, which, as a reminder, week number 4, we go out to Watkins Glen, the short circuit, for 21 laps. The boot gets the boot. No boot out there at Watkins Glen. They'll be on the short track, 21 laps. And then the Homestead Speedway. Joe Beardy, you going to run it? Joe Beardy? 42 laps around the oval of Homestead. That'll be fun. All right, our driver's getting readied up here now as Boontang works everything out. Getting the standings or the grid ordering correct, and then setting up the settings, the lobby settings for the race. Things concluding 2 weeks from tonight out at the Indy Grand Prix Circuit Alternate, which is the older version of the Grand Prix track. 40 laps for that one, and we'll see. It should require at least one pit stop. 40 laps around that track should require a pit stop. I'm actually kind of curious about Homestead, too. If you have the throttle wide open around the oval, I don't know if the Miata will guzzle down the gas, and if its tank is a little smaller, I'm wondering if we won't see a pit stop needed out at Homestead. We'll find out 1 week from tonight. It really is amazing how quickly these seasons fly by. They're here, and then they're gone. Wise and Mitten joining us in the driver's spotlight. Wise and Mitten, let's see here. I got to go back to me previous race results. You had yourself a... Oh, never mind. It's already disappeared. I don't know where you're at on the grid, but are you happy with it?
Yeah, I'm happy with the point. First season with the team here.
Yeah, and we were talking with, let's see, we had LS Barty in here in the driver's spotlight earlier. He was talking about how he loves the precipitation. He kind of thinks he has an advantage there. What about you? Do you love playing in the rain?
Well, not really. So
No.
This is a challenge.
It will be a little bit of a challenge. Fortunately, you have about 2/3 of the race where there won't be precipitation, so make the most of it there, yeah?
Definitely.
What about, we were talking with Ovation before qualifying. He says, hey, Paddock Hill Bend, that's the one that catches him off guard. Is that going to be the trick for you too? Is Paddock Hill Bend, or is there another part of the track that's your trouble spot?
Oh, mine's the last turn.
Oh.
Mine's the last one.
Yeah,
That's
see,
what's...
I'd be right there with you if we were running the Grand Prix circuit, but you're saying even here on the Indy circuit, it's trouble for you.
Yeah, because you got that. You're slowing right down, you're cutting left, and then you got to slow down even more to cut right, and it feels like a 90.
Yeah, and I don't know, with the car, sure, it's only 156 horsepower, but I don't know if you get any snap oversteer in there at all, or I don't know. I'm not sure if that uneases the car a bit, but you had some what I assume to be good battles out there at Road America. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get the camera back there all that often, but you found yourself back there. OK Fox, Jason D, one of the newcomers, Patches Riley, Ovation's back there, and Nicky Bobby. You ended up in 18th position. How is the back of the pack? Pretty scrappy?
Yeah, the back of the pack's a lot of fun. Jason, was that Fox? Jason D.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good competitor. I was trying to catch him. I was catching him one lap. I managed to catch on 3 seconds, and then the last turn, I touched the grass and spun me. Well, it didn't spin me out completely, but I managed to get it back under control and run him down some more. And then by that time, I just ran out of laps.
Ran out of laps, as that so often happens to be the case. These races here, week 1 through 4, pretty quick. They're not the shortest of the lot that you get in Forza Motorsport, but they're pretty quick. All right, there, Weisenman, great chatting with you. I see everybody readied up, so I'll throw you back over to get ready for the race, but best of luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, yet another relatively new name. I think Weisenmitten's been here for the back half of Season 38 and then here for the beginning of Season 39. I could be wrong. Maybe I am wrong. But great to chat with Weisenmitten, and we'll see if we get any drivers here at the end of our race tonight, as we often do, or typically do, is when we've completed and concluded things for the night. That's usually when drivers like to come in here and be a little bit chatty. They can have a word without having to prep their car, get it all ready for our next race, or whatever the case may be. Pro 50 Joe, is this the new game? It is not. The new Forza Motorsport title, we don't have a release date for it. We're not aware of when it is going to release. If I were to put on my best Johnny Carson, look into my crystal ball type character here, I guess I would say maybe beginning of next year, which is actually kind of an odd release for the Forza Motorsport franchise. Most releases have been at in the fall. The exception to that was the first Forza Motorsport title. It released in, I think it was May. And so, I don't know. I kind of have a feeling that it will be early 2022 for the new title. I just don't see it happening here at the end of this year. I could be wrong, however, because we still haven't gotten to the point of E3, and E3 will be happening virtually this year. And E3 has notoriously been Forza Motorsport's kind of big moment in terms of announcements. It really has been the show in which we've come to know, okay, well, here comes the next Forza Motorsport title. So I guess it's possible that come E3 here in, what is that, June, that we may know when the next Forza title is going to release. And it could be the end of this year. I just don't have high hopes for that. Soul Motion Fire telling us there in the chat, here we go. Ovation saying, GG's, Weisen. That indeed. Here they go, readied up on the line. Kratrium is going to be lined up opposite of Toyosama. You can't see him. He's behind the map. But Toyosama picking up the pole position. And here we go. Kick the tires, light the fires. Race number 6 here in Season 39 goes into turn number 1. Paddock Hill Bend. Kratrium there in second. He will follow closely. Going to go onto the apex and now brings it out up over to the curbing. And a little bit of shuffling of positions back there. DTS Mondo, Floofy, and Stevie Superstack. 3rd, 4th, and 5th into turn number 2. The hairpin. And now down the hill they'll charge into the left-hander. And they're going to go single file. Not a lot of side-by-side racing, which, again, I told you guys during the qualifying, this isn't the track where you see a lot of that side-by-side, especially on the Indy circuit. Yes, if we opened it up onto the Grand Prix track, it might be a little bit different. Let me bring the audio down there. A bit loud. But here on the Indy circuit, I don't anticipate seeing a lot of side-by-side racing. It's going to be waiting for your opponent to make that mistake. Even coming out of the Brabham straight there, you see Floofy just hanging out. And I say hanging out. Of course, that's probably not what he's doing. But it's hard not to have... It's hard to have any more momentum or any more speed than your close. Oh, there goes Floofy! He gets turned around, not only over into the kitty litter, but then he gets the front end of his Miata pointed in the wrong direction. Fortunately, nobody was coming out of Paddock Hill Bend at the time. And let's see if he's going to be able to spin it back around. Oh, my gosh. He's having to make well, no, that's Patches Riley, who is making a recovery there at the end of the pack. Let's go to DTS Mondo in 3rd. And already, Already getting a little spicy out there. Here comes Floofy. No, actually, that's Orzi and McQueen in 4th. Stevie in 5th. Foontang in 6th. Floofy making that correction. ¿Dónde está? ¿Dónde está la Floofy? Did we lose him? I'm not seeing Floofy anywhere on the track. Yeah, he's out. Not sure what happened there. Rip Floofy, says Joe Beardy. Here goes Foontang, finding himself up into 6th. Foontang's really he's the dark horse of the Forza Spec Racing Series. A veteran of this league. And sometimes he's out of sight, out of mind, and other times you find him in the thick of things, and here he is, 6th position between Stevie Superstack and Dimes. Spicy, yay. Cheetah, it says Floofy DNF. He did. Yeah, he's out, which is huge. For our driver who got back-to-back wins there in week number 2, it looks like week number 3 is going to be his drop week, which is unfortunate because he finished 3rd out at Road America. So if he was able to put together a good run here at Brands Hatch, it might have secured his top spot on the leaderboard for another week. But instead, his 100 points is going to, if Craytrim wins this race, which right now Craytrim's in 2nd behind Toyosama. If Craytrim wins, then that gives Craytrim 100 points to Floofy's 100 points, which would obviously have them tied going into week number 4. That's assuming that Craytrim can pull out the victory, but Toyosama, with the pole spot out of qualifying, if he can just churn laps. Now, that's more easily said than done, because as we continue to churn laps, lots of traffic is going to come into play very early on. I'd say by about lap 7 or 8 is when we're going to see, as a matter of fact, we've got a driver who is in the paddock right now, the pit lane. That's going to be Fear the Fun. Oh, Fear the Fun. Off to a bad start here out at Brands Hatch. Let's go back to McQueen. Let's Stevie back behind him. Foontang falling back to 7th position as Dimes moves up to 6th. Going to get a little congested here in a bit. CMD Slipstream, 10th position. Got Ellis Barney there in 9th. Ellis Barney, he's praying for rain. He likes it when the track's a bit wet. He thinks that gives him a bit of a leg up. And, we've got another car turned around here in between 3 and 4. That is going to be Dimes. Dimes gets it spun around, and I don't know that he had anybody around him. Maybe just a couple of wheels too many off into the grass. Maybe got the curbing up onto the undercarriage, and that'll take away your steering ability. And then when the car ends up onto the grass, and you get that disproportionate amount of torque on the wheels, then, it's easy to see yourself spin there. And we see Barney. Let me get back up there to Barney. He falls to 8th position now as Barf Monkey. I think Barf Monkey got the better of him there into turn 2. Yeah, Barf Monkey's already taken off. Up to 7th. Joe Beardy says this could be the season where CT can clinch his 10th. Oh, it's up to 10. That's right. I should have known better. I said 7th or 8 that he has right now. But no, he's got 9. Trying to go for those double digits. Previously known as C-Tom. Now known as Craytrim. Let's go to Cratrim, who trying to keep up with Toyo-sama, but now here comes the lap traffic. He's right there with them. But they're going to see some other company here real soon. DTS Mondo. I mean, and here's the thing. You get names like DTS Mondo. Okay, we don't see him really high up on the leaderboard. At least, he's not... DTS Mondo is not top 5. Yes, he's in 7th, which, I mean, compared to where I would be, is high up on the leaderboard. But once you see guys like DTS Mondo and Audrex and Toyo-sama up there in the top 3, that's them taking points away from our drivers who have predominantly occupied those top 3 positions, which just makes the standings going to week 4 that much more interesting. It's really going to be something to see, because the way that I'll present the standings is based on that drop week rule. And man, we might see our closest battle for the championship heading into week 5 out at the Indianapolis Grand Prix circuit. Our closest battle that we've seen in a long, long time. Again, RZ McQueen has dominated the last 2 seasons, seasons 37 and 38, winning both of them. Trying to go back to back to back, which would be the first driver to do so. However, it's not looking that way at this point. He is in 4th right now. Finished 2nd out at Road America, but he's going to need some more. He's going to need some more victories to his name here. He's only got 1 so far. That coming out of Sonoma. No. Might we be dealing with the lobby issues? Please don't let that be the case. All right, who did we lose anybody? That's really the question here. Cratrim still in 2nd. Toyo-sama still our race leader. DTS Mondo in 3rd. McQueen in 4th. Stevie in 5th. Boontang in 6th. And, we lost Slow Motion Fire. So, Slow Motion Fire, Floofy, 2 drivers of the 22 who started now out of the race. And now here comes Toyo-sama starting to deal with the back markers there. It's going to be Nicky Bobby, and Nicky Bobby doing the right thing. Running the race still, but staying on the high side. McQueen getting close to making contact with him, but it's got to be a part of your strategy as the lead lap traffic. You see those back markers coming into view, start planning for where you're going to make your pass. And sometimes it's not advantageous to just pass on any old corner. Sometimes you got to map it out and set it up. It's like volleyball. Sure, you can spike it on the first time that it volleys over the net, or you can kind of bounce it around a couple of times and let one of your teammates take care of it. Yeah, you don't have teammates here in the Forza Spec Racing Series, but sometimes you do have to kind of plan your attack. You don't want to lose sight of your closest opponents. I get that. But getting tangled up with back markers could do you a heck of a lot worse. Whiskey Canuck. Haven't played Forza Motorsport 7 since last year. This is making me want to get back into it. Whiskey Canuck, that's awesome. Thrilled to hear that just watching the racing action here gets you reconsidering it. If you want to know more about the Forza Spec Racing Series, head on over to reddit.com/r/FM4. And heck, if you'd like to participate in Season 40, which will be coming up in about 5 or 6 weeks' time. Again, the Season 40 details are not official at this point. Then get yourself signed up. Doesn't matter your skill level. DTS Mondo sporting the orange number board. First time here in FM4. And look at this. He's in 3rd. And he's holding off RZ McQueen quite well. DTS Mondo finished in 9th out there at Road America. What a difference the track makes. And here, not anytime soon, but at some point in this race, we'll start to see the rainfall. Because, again, it is 100% guaranteed here that toward the last third of the race, we're going to have a light rainfall here at Brands Hatch Indy. go ahead and ride on board here with RZ and McQueen, P4. And how about that pass by Cratrim? It's not often that we see that we capture a pass while riding on board or a pass for the lead. And Cratrim has done so magnificently. I think I clicked the button. We're about to find out. Nope. As we revisit the fun that was Bathurst. How did I not click the replay button? My mind told me that I did it, but my finger didn't make it so. Fail. Oh yeah, by the way, our EXEVEN fail button emote has come back for all of you newly acquired subscribers. Thanks to Carryout earlier. Yeah, you can drop the fail bomb on me. And here comes McQueen. He gets the Miata a little bit sideways and goes off-road with it. Toyo Sama now falling back to 4th position. DTS Mondo up to 2nd. And just so I can redeem myself a little bit, here we go. Let's go to the X-Venture Rewind there with Toyo Sama. No, he hadn't been passed right here. He had already been passed. But let's see McQueen, who gets close to well, maybe that was actually Toya who got